them to grow closer as a group and nurture the bonds of community. Continue to remind them that all that is done here, all that is accomplished, is for the pursuit of truth and for the service of humanity. Grant them the wisdom to govern amid conflicting interests and issues of our times, and the ability to work together in harmony, even when there is honest disagreement. We pray for the agenda set before them this evening. Please give us an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved town of Grand Island. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any public comments on agenda items only? If so, please come to the mic and state your name.
Robert Eddy. I'd like to urge the town board tonight remove the parcel of land near the area of the South Lane residential area and near the linear bike path from property that the town land that's been permitted for use for trapping. In the last several weeks, it's become apparent that the residents of South Lane are concerned about their safety and also would like their wildlife preserved. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dan at 298 South Lane. I'd just like to say I appreciate that on tonight's agenda there is the removal of the South Lane parcel from the trapping lot. That is just really appreciated by myself and our neighbors. We've had a lot of concern about it, and also it's kind of a hard area to get to between needing permission from either a landowner or needing some kind of motor vehicle which is not permitted on the bike path. I don't see how it would work practically, but we appreciate that that's on there. There are greater concerns though about the trapping on the town lands. There are other parcels that are still in the law, and I'd just like to hope that we can reconsider it as a whole. As far as the animal aspect, what are the benefits of it versus the weight against the risks of it. It's town land, you're basically giving it to one person. It just seems like a lot of risk for very little reward to the town. And so I just, again, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Jessica Hickey at 301 South Lane. I just wanted to thank the board for also putting the South Lane plot up on for reconsideration of trapping. Also, it would be nice to see the other plots also up for reconsideration. I feel like with town land, it would be nice that everybody would be able to use the town land rather than just the trapper, and people feel uncomfortable going through the land and when there's traps set out there. You know, I know myself personally, I don't really want to bring my children or my animals into the land when there's traps set there, not only because they're there and I feel that they're a danger to myself and my children and my animals, but also I think it would be very hard to explain to my child if an animal was trapped in one of the traps and, you know, they saw something like that. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I will close the public comment portion for agenda items. Minutes. I'll entertain a motion to accept the past minutes from regular town board meeting number 23 and workshop meetings number 58, 59, 60, and 61.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I will entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda. We received the following meeting minutes from the Board of Architectural Review for November, the list of 2017 Board of Architectural Review meetings, facility usage for the Golden Age Center for November. Are there any communications from the town board for the consent agenda?
Move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2017 reorganization. I'll entertain a motion to accept 1 through 28. On the reorganization list as follows, I'll do a brief summary. Number 1, we are reappointing the law firm of Hodgson Russ LLP, Peter C. Godfrey Esquire, of the council as attorneys for the town of Grand Island for the year of 2017. Number 2, the methods of assessment for consolidated water districts and the consolidated sewer districts as detailed in your packets. 3, the method of assessment for lighting districts will be that costs shall be apportioned against the properties in all districts in the town of Grand Island based upon the frontage of said property. 4, the firm of Bonadio Group will be designated as the audit counselors for the town of Grand Island for the year of 2017. I, Supervisor Nate McMurray, will be designated budget officer for the town of Grand Island for the year 2017. 6, I will also act as a liaison and police commissioner for the Grand Island Police Department. 7, we will table the appointment for the Deputy Emergency Services Coordinator for a 1-year term expiring December 31, 2017, because we need to find someone to fill the post. 8, the mileage for reimbursement rate will be 0.535 per mile for town officials when performing duties for the town of Grand Island during 2017 as per IRS guidelines. 9, the Island Dispatch is designated as the official newspaper for the town of Grand Island for the year of 2017. 10, we designate M&T, MBIA class, JB Morgan Chase Bank, and Key Bank, Commercial Bank, as depositories for the town of Grand Island for the year 2017. 11, the town of Grand Island fee schedule as submitted by department heads for the year 2017. The town attorney and Susan Seifert, 12, sorry. The town attorney and Susan Seifert are designated as harassment complaint officers as required by Human Resources Policy and Procedures number 4. 13, to adopt the investment policy for 2017 as described in your packets. 14, to authorize the payment to the New York State Office of the Comptroller, Justice Court, the funds collected in our town court. 15, the list of authorized closings in observance of annual holidays is set forth in the various collective bargaining units detailed in your packets. 16, this authorized supervisor as to bond the town personnel under existing $250,000 blanket bond. 17, the payroll date is set as every other Thursday. 18, to authorize petty cash in the amounts listed in your packet. 19, to adopt the procurement policy set out in your packets. 20, to adopt the non-union salary schedule set out in your packets. 21, to schedule town board meetings to be held on the first and third Monday of each month at 8:00 p.m. A regular meeting that falls on a holiday should be held on Tuesday of that week. Workshop meetings are being held as usual every Monday at 6 p.m. The town clerk is directed to post notice for all regular meetings and other workshop meetings. 22, to authorize payment to the designated utility and health insurance companies upon receipt of monthly statements. 23, to appoint the following personnel as town representatives of Upstate New York Municipal Workers' Compensation Plan for the year 2017. Voting member Pam Barton, alternate voting member Nathan McMurray, facilitator Richard Crawford. 24, to authorize the supervisor to renew the town's membership with the following associations: Association of Erie County Governments, New York State Government Finance Officers Association, State Association of Municipal Purchasing Officers, State New York Planning Federation, Association of Towns of New York State. Almost there. 25, to authorize the attendance at the New York State Association of Towns meeting in New York City by certain department heads and elected officials with necessary funds in their 2017 budget. 26, to audit on the first and third Monday of each month or the following Tuesday, if a holiday falls on that Monday, bills drawn against the following funds: capital, capital reserve, fire, general highway, lighting districts, refuse, sewer, and water. 27, town hall offices for 2017 are as follows: Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, closed on holidays. There will be special hours of tax collection to be determined by the town clerk. 28, to set the 2017 sewer rents, no change from 2016, for the town of Grand Island at $5.20 per 1,000 gallons of water. I'll entertain a motion to accept 1 through 28.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Discussion.
Discussion, go ahead.
Just on number 21, where you talked about the workshop meetings be at 6 in our packet, it's printed at 6:30. So
Okay.
I just want to change that to 6, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or as designated by the town or as posted by the town.
Yep.
That's fine. Any other discussion items from 1 through 28? So then roll call.
Kinney?
Aye.
Madigan.
Aye.
Bilica.
Aye.
Aronica.
Aye.
McMurray.
Aye. So let me explain to anyone who doesn't understand, this is what we do every year at the first meeting. We're doing all the housework the entire year, including all the appointments. So here's the next round, another chunk of the reorganization. I will entertain a motion to accept number 29 through number 42 on the reorganization list as follows. John Butler will be reappointed to Architectural Review Board for a 5-year term expiring on December 31, 2021. William Gorek Jr. and David M. Bruno, both with terms ending December 31, 2021, will be reappointed to the Board of Assessment Review Committee. 3, Ron Stripp will be reappointed to the Cable and Communications Advisory Board for a 7-year term ending December 31, 2023. Also, James Watts and Dan Shivmer will have a 1-year term expiring on December 31, 2017. They'll be reappointed to the Cable and Communications Advisory Board as alternates. 4, the following will be reappointed for the Communication Emergency Response Team. Dorothy Bittner, Traffic Safety Advisory Board. Michael Duff, Ham Radio Coordinator. To be determined, GI Deputy Emergency Services Coordinator. Brian Graham, GI Central School District. James Rolsner, GI Central School District. Christopher Slurry, Grand Island Police Department and Grand Island Fire Department. Stephen Stouter, CERT Leader, each for a 1-year term expiring on December 31, 2017. 5, Ronald Resbeck will be reappointed to the Conservation Advisory Board for a 5-year term expiring on December 31, 2021. 6, David Mingoya, Roger Cook, Kenneth Rogaza, and Benny Shook will be reappointed to the Economic Development Advisory Board, each for a 3-year term expiring on December 31, 2019. 7, the following will be reappointed to the Historic Preservation Advisory Board at large member Joseph Macaluso for a 4-year term expiring on December 31, 2020. Historical Society member Shirley Luther for a 2-year term expiring on December 31, 2018. And town historian Jody Robinson to a 1-year term expiring on December 31, 2017. Jody Robinson will also be reappointed as the town historian for a 1-year term expiring on December 31, 2017. 8, Mary Summer will be reappointed to the Human Rights Commission for a 5-year term expiring on December 31, 2021. 9, Patrina Rizzuto will be reappointed as a library trustee for a 5-year term expiring on December 31, 2021. 10, Pete Marston will be appointed as chairman of the planning board for a 1-year term expiring on December 31, 2017. Frank Greco will be reappointed to the planning board for a 7-year term ending 12/31/23. David M. Bruno will be reappointed as alternate member of the planning board for a term expiring December 31, 2017. 11, Mark Nemeth and Dorothy Bittner as chair to be reappointed to the Traffic Safety Advisory Board for a 5-year term expiring December 31, 2019. 12, Marianne Fabiano will be reappointed to the ZBA Zoning Board of Appeals for a 5-year term expiring December 31, 2021, and as a chairperson for the 1-year term expiring on December 31, 2017. Dan Drexelius to be reappointed as alternative for the ZBA for a 1-year term ending on December 31, 2017. 13, Frederick Luer will be reappointed to the Board of Ethics for a 5-year term expiring on December 31, 2021. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Aronica.
Aye.
Bilica.
Aye.
Kinney. Madigan.
Aye.
McMurray.
Aye. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all those who serve on these boards. It's not an easy task, and it's a lot of hard work and dedication. Some of these people have done it for many years and are very devoted to their positions. Next part is my appointments. Agenda items 43, 44, and 45 are included in the final few appointments from my office, and then we will be done with the reorganization. Number 1, Councilman Mike Madigan and Councilwoman Bev Kinney will serve on the Audit Committee for 2017. I might add they've done an excellent job this year. 2, the Special Districts Committee for 2017 will be made up of the following: Chairman John Whitney from Wastewater Department, Ian James and Mike Braun from the Water Department, Jim Dugokinski and Don Hoover from the Town Board, myself and Councilman Ray Bilica. 3, the Sidewalk Bike Path Trail Committee for 2017 will be composed of myself, Diane Evans, Chris Oronica, J.T. Tompkins, Paul Lechner, Pete Marston, John Whitney, Chris Slurry, and Betty Harris. Number 4, the following people will serve on the Long Range Planning Committee: Jim Sharp as chair, Bev Kinney as liaison, Eric Fievelkorn from the Chamber of Commerce, Diane Evans from the Conservation Advisory Board, Pete Marston from the Planning Board, Marion Fabiano from the Zoning Board of Appeals, Paul Lechner from Parks and Recreation, Betty Harris from Traffic Safety, Mary West from Economic Development, and our 5 members at large, Deborah Bolani, Martha Ludwig, Dan Drexilius, Sharon Osgood, and Peter Capola. 5, the liaisons between the Town Board and the Advisory Board are as follows for 2017. Architectural Review, Raymond Villica. Cable Communication, Beverly Kinney. Community Emergency Response Team, Chris Veronica. Conservation Advisory Board, Raymond Villica. Economic Development, Bev Kinney. Historic Preservation, Nate McMurray. Human Rights, Nate McMurray. Library Trustees, Nate McMurray. Parks and Recreation, Bev Kinney. Planning, Bev Kinney. Traffic Safety, Chris Veronica. Executive Board of the Golden Age Club, Nate McMurray. Safety Committee, Mike Manigan. And finally, for 2017, I'll reappoint Cindy Montana as my assistant. Gina Tedesco is also an assistant of the supervisor, and Jim Sharp is my deputy supervisor. These are for your information only, require no legal action by the board. So that brings us, Ed, to the annual reorganization portion of the meeting. Let's continue with the discussion for the rest of the meeting. 8, communications from my office. We are still working on saving the Scenic Woods Bicentennial Park monies from the Greenway Commission. We are submitting another request. I need a resolution to authorize that. I'll entertain a motion for the town to submit that to the Buffalo and Erie County Greenway Fund Standing Committee. Is there a motion made for us to do that?
Second.
Is there any discussion on that point? Roll call?
Kinney? Villica?
Aye.
Veronica? Madigan?
Aye.
McMurray?
Aye. 2, further investigation was done to vet the plots of land that were allowed to be trapped on SBL number 23.12-1-1. It needs to be removed from the single trapping permit granted by the town. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion on this point?
I'd just like to make the point that I think that in my particular case anyway, as I was going through all these properties and coming up with the ones that I thought were appropriate, I thought this property was appropriate, but apparently I've made a mistake. And with the proximity to residences, and I'm not sure the proximity to the bike path makes a real big difference, but the close proximity to the residences and the people who have told me that they use that property on a regular basis for themselves and their families, I think it's probably a good idea to bring it up. There's still 2 properties that the individual can trap on, and to the best of my knowledge, also has the ability to trap on other properties on there. So that's why I was kind of thinking that this should come off.
Any other comments on that? Okay. Roll call?
Villica?
Aye.
Kinney? Veronica? Madigan?
Aye.
McMurray?
Aye. Mike, can you give us a report of the audit committee? Oops, wait, code enforcement, I'm sorry. Doug is reporting that results from the yearly ballot to elect 1 member to the electrical examining board were received. And Loretto, I'm gonna have a rough time with this name here, I'm sorry. Kovo of LC Electric will fill that position with a term ending December 31, 2018. Now, Mike, can you give us a report of the audit committee?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to pay the following amounts to the following accounts. General Fund, $47,496.81. Highway Fund, $9,365.10. Sewer Fund, $20,896.84. Water Fund, $19,566.57. Capital Fund, $384,785.13, and the grand total is $482,110.45.
Second.
Any discussion on this? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We now have the amended repayment plan for the sidewalk installation. This is unfinished business at 1993 Majority Road. But we want to refer this back to the board. I'll make a motion to refer it back to the board.
Yes.
Is there a second? Any discussion on that? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The Board of Assessment Review issue needs to be removed from the unfinished business because it was dealt with in the reorganization. Any comments on that? Any motion, what's the, okay. Do we have to actually do a motion on it? Okay. Local law, intro number 8 of 2016, soil law will also remain tabled as we await input from the 30-day county review and comments from the planning board. Are there any public comments on any subject whatsoever?
I believe these terms for the Board of Assessment Review do not end on December 31st. That's why I put on the agenda. They were supposed to be, their term ends September 30th. So their term would stay, that's why I have the paperwork. Hang on. The terms are, they're the only ones that are
So
different.
we didn't think I had to action this morning?
Well, I didn't realize that these were the same two that were on here, but the terms will be, September, it'll be, see how it goes. It'll be a September 30th,
Can I make a motion now then?
20, it'll be, no, I'll just change the terms if you guys are okay with that.
Is there any complaint about her changing the terms and make it correct?
Or would be to 21, and what was the other one?
For a board of assessment review, it is,
Bruno, I think Bruno was on alternate, so his will expire September 30th of 17.
Yeah, those are just corrections.
Right,
yep.
right, as long as everybody understands.
It's just an
Yeah,
edit.
just for, that's the only board that is different on the calendar.
Okay, we're
It's
fine.
not
Well,
regulated by us.
there's no objections.
Okay,
It doesn't seem there's any.
then we're good. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead with your public comments. Ms. Gerber.
Good evening. Nicola Gerber, 2489 Whitehaven Road. First, I want to echo the comments that were made at the beginning of the meeting, and also to thank the town board, all members, for taking that parcel of land off the trapping application. I think it shows that the community has spoken loudly over the past year on this topic, and we all agree that trapping is not something that we want in our communities, that we want on public lands. It's something that we don't agree with when it comes to safety for the people, the pets, and especially the consideration and respect for our grand island wildlife. So I thank you for that consideration. Thank you for taking it off, and for future consideration of removing all trapping on all public lands. Thank you.
Thank you. Dave Riley, 2489 Whitehaven. Thank you, and I was going to just walk away at that point, following the comedy routine from this earlier tonight. But I wanted to add a little more. I've been to a lot of the town board meetings over the past year, and things can move very, very slowly. There was a very rapid response to this issue in the South Lane property area, and I commend the board on that. I think it was an excellent response based on a real public concern. And I guess the one thing that I'd like to add to that is I've walked the other two properties that are still listed as properties where trapping can occur. And I think you'll find, if you do the same, that there are issues with those properties as well. You'll find that there are issues of access for anyone who's going to be using them for hunting or trapping. You'll find that there are issues of the impacts on neighbors. You'll find that there are issues of concerns about humane practices, common use of the public land, and obviously liability as well. So I would urge you to continue this kind of a reflection on the law and on the way that you're moving forward with this. And in particular, I want to raise the issue, I've raised this before, but the environmental impact, which has never been done. There has been no environmental impact statement on these locations, and I think it's important that you consider the fact that, for example, the Conservation Advisory Board has a potential role in that process. They rejected the application, and then it never came back to them to actually engage in any kind of review of impacts on species or on any other environmental issues. So I urge you to think about those in the context of those two remaining properties. I hope you'll recognize, and I think that there's been some recognition that this process is a much, much more arduous process than it should be, than it needs to be, and that there are many other opportunities for a trapper to utilize beyond public land in future. So thank you very much for that quick response.
Gail Schutrum, Beaver Lane. I just wanted to express my appreciation and support for the board's action in prohibiting trapping in the South Lane subdivision area. But at the same time, I'd also like to say that if something is considered unsafe and unacceptable for part of the island, it really is unsafe and unacceptable for other parts as well. You know, I know I sat through hearings regarding the bike path, and every one of you said safety was your number one concern, and I don't know why it isn't in this case.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, take comments from the town board. We'll go this way. Mike?
I'd like to wish everybody a happy New Year's, and hopefully everyone's healthy, happy, and have a good, prosperous year.
Bev?
I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year, healthy, prosperous new year as well.
Okay.
Ray?
Me too.
Two.
Ditto. Happy New Year. Healthy New Year.
Double ditto.
I just want to say, a year ago, I sat here and I did the reorg, and I was in a state of, shock. That's a good word. We stayed up late. I tried to understand what half of it meant. Not to say that I'm better, but I was so green then. And this year has been a great learning experience for me in a lot of ways. I think I did a lot of things that were, I think if I have regret, I just want to say, and sometimes I get like this, so I apologize to those out there, but I think there was times where I unintentionally hurt people I really cared about, and I intentionally hurt people that I should have cared more about. So I'm going to try to be better about that this year, and I'm not perfect, but I'll try to continue to get better. I mean, I'm a person who cares about this a lot, and I want to say that about everyone here, Mike, Bev, Ray, Chris, whether you like them or like us or not, they are here because they care about Grand Island a lot. And I see what they do, a lot of what they do behind the scenes, and these are people that, even if you don't agree with them, are trying their best to improve the island. I also appreciate all the feedback we receive from people in the community. It is a little bit scary though now that I'm walking around here. I'll be going for a walk or for a jog and someone says, "Hey Nate," and I'll be like, only my friends call me Nate. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm used to people knowing who I am on the island, and I appreciate the feedback and the interest by the people of Grand Island over the last year. I think all of us are thankful for that, and we'll all try better in 2017. With that, a motion is in order to adjourn tonight's meeting at, hold on a second, 8:29. I got a new watch, I don't know how to read it.
So moved.
Please rise, and I will observe a moment in silence in memory of Beverly Siebert, George Davis, Agnes Bakula, Mark Pieri, John Wolfach, John Goss, Margaret Hooper.